Good evening, everyone. Tonight we're hearing more from more metro departments concerned about an effort to roll back the 34% property tax hike.
The mayor says if a referendum moves forward and passes in a special election, the city would be in a $322 million deficit. News Channel 5's Matthew Torres says it could bring significant cuts to a service already underfunded. Matthew.
Well, Vicki, because of the pandemic, the WeGo CEO says Metro had to cut funding by about $21 million. A spokesperson says the reduction in services and cuts they had more than a year ago compared to what we could see next year if this referendum passes would be, quote, a walk in the park.
About the 8, 17, 22 to 42.
Finding money to ride the bus almost every day is a challenge. Doing it after suffering a stroke months ago makes it an even bigger burden.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of rough.
Kevin Walker is one of 2/3 of bus riders in Nashville who say they don't have or can't afford a car.
I'm waiting for the 55 Hickory Hollow bus.
He relies on WeGo public transit to get everywhere he needs to go, so fewer bus routes could be a bigger problem.
Yeah, that would most definitely hurt.
WeGo officials worry that will happen if the proposed referendum passes. If it makes it on a ballot and approved by voters, the referendum would repeal the 34% property tax hike in Nashville. Supporters say the tax hike was just too much, especially right now. But transit officials say it would force them to make service cuts of, quote, unprecedented proportions.
So we already, even by today's standards, even at today's service levels, offer much less service than cities our size and larger. So it's really unfathomable. It truly would become a bare bones, minimal transit service.
WeGo already had to reduce services and make cuts before the pandemic. But Plan says once CARES Act money runs out and there's no money from the property tax, they will likely be forced to cut more routes, reduce even more hours, and increase fares.
There really wouldn't be anything that was off the table, per se.
And so hopefully in negotiations that'll come about. But I think this is my bus, so I have to go.
And that may just be the start, concerning riders like Dartisha Mosley, who takes the bus to school.
And so if fares are increased, routes are changed, it will affect many people, including myself.
WeGo says it might also affect a program that picks up people with disability at their doors countywide, and also they may have to eliminate a service that offers free transit to Metro students. Now, the Davidson County Election Commission will still have to vote whether or not there will be a special election on this. A decision could come fairly soon. Reporting live in Nashville tonight, Matthew Torres, News Channel 5.
Matthew, thank you.